This is a Swift Challenger 565. It's going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker, you've got your gas regulator on the bulkhead with your pipework coming down to the bottle. The pipework that goes into the bottle is a reverse thread fitment, so you need to turn it the opposite way to normal to release the fitting. On top of the gas bottle, you've got your on and off valve for the gas supply. And it actually says there open and closed, so when it's open you'll have gas supply, and when it's closed it'll be shut off. Down the side of the caravan on this side, you've got your wind down leg just through that hole, and that essentially allows you to stabilise the caravan while it is on site. You would never lift the caravan with these legs, as it could potentially damage the floor of the van. On the side of the van, you also got your heating and hot water flue. This cover needs to be removed before you ignite anything on gas inside of the caravan. You'd always take this off, and if you just get into a general habit of removing it before you, when you're setting up the van, at least then you know it's removed. You've then got your water pump connection, which you release by pulling back the blue trigger. It does take a little bit of force to pull them out, and then to push them in, you do the same again. Pull the blue trigger back and push it into the side of the caravan. You've then got your pickup pipe that drops down inside the acque roll, and that'll pick the water up from the barrel itself. You've then got your mains power lead coming into the side of the caravan, your battery, 110 amp leisure battery, and your motor mover power switch in the back right hand corner there, and we'll demonstrate that while you're here on site. You've then got your two fridge vents. Two fridge vents are simply there to allow hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in, and behind one of those there is also a gas flue for when you're running the fridge on gas. Motor mover and the wheel nuts. We'll torque the wheel nuts while you're here on site, and we'll also demonstrate the motor mover so you can see is it all working as it should. Grey waste pipe. So essentially you've got the fresh water that goes into the front of the caravan, and it needs to come out somewhere. You have two bits of grey pipe that go into the larger diameter circles here, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. The back of the caravan here, you've got your toilet flush, your toilet tank itself. You release it by pulling up the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away. And on the back of this cassette you also have an orange pressure relief button, so when you are tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On the back of the caravan on either side you've got your wind down legs. The wind down legs are there to stabilise the caravan, like I said at the front, not lift the caravan, so it's the same procedure with these. Put them down to the ground just to stabilise the van while you're using it. As we come down the side of the caravan, you've got your storage box for underneath the front seating area, underneath the side seating area, sorry. So you open that up and it'll allow you to access the storage. You've then got your 3-pin socket just here, so you can have power coming out to your awning. You've got your storage locker for underneath the front seating area also. Coming inside the caravan now, above the door we have the main control panel. So you have power on in the centre here to turn the power onto the caravan. You've got your leisure battery voltage on the left hand side and your vehicle battery voltage on the right hand side. So you'll only get a voltage on here when you are connected to the car you are towing with. As you can see at the top here, you've got a diagram that indicates what power source you're connected to. So the post here, there's a part here that indicates you're connected to the mains power on site and it's coming into the caravan. If you're connected to the car, you'll have an orange dot on the car and a green light on the caravan. You've got your view levels button at the bottom, so it'll bring up the levels on either side here. And then you've got your water pump switch on this left hand side, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment. First thing you're going to need to do when you come inside the caravan is to fill the water system up. So first of all, you're going to need to come underneath this seat on the right hand side. And down underneath this seat you're going to see a yellow valve, which is just here in the video. That yellow valve is what is known as the drain down valve. That yellow valve needs to be parallel with the floor before you fill the water system up. And when you're finished with the caravan, you need to lift that valve upright so it points towards the bottom of the seat. So like I said, to fill the system it needs to be parallel with the floor as it is now. Once you've got that valve in that position, you can then come over to every tap on board the caravan and open them all up on the hot side of the water system. You actually see I've already filled the system, but normally these pipes would be empty when you first come to fill the system up. So you'd open the tap in the kitchen, the tap in the bathroom, and the tap on the shower. Once you've got all of these taps open, you can come back to the control panel by the door, and you can press the water pump button as you've already got the aqua roll connected on the outside. At that point, the water system will start filling up. To start with, when you start filling the system, it'll act a bit like when the water's been off at home. It'll spit, splatter, and generally gurgle a little bit. And then once you've got water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan, you can shut all of the taps back off. It will take a moment to get the pressure up at the back of the caravan, and if you've got all 3 taps on at the same time, the shower pressure won't be as high. Once all of them taps are shut back off though, you can start thinking about warming the water system on board the caravan. So in this cupboard up here, we should have a control panel section here with your radio built in and your fuse blocks. So at the top here, you've got your main controls for the heating hot water systems, etc. You can turn on the space heater and you can have that on at all times. However, the water heater switch below is for the water system when you are running on electric. So once you turn this on, the water heater will kick in on the electric setting and it will warm up to a preset temperature around 35 to 40 degrees. We do not advise having this on when there is no water in the system. We do advise you turn it off before you drain down the water system, or when you first arrive on site, make sure it is turned off. At the top here, you've got your household style trip switches. If you ever need to test, see if you've got power coming into the caravan, you can hit the test switch here, which will trip all of the power out and trip the test switch. You have a complete system shutdown button here, so if I hit this button, it'll actually turn off all of the power on the inside of the caravan and the 12 volt supplies. Down the bottom here, you have your 12 volt fuses for the caravan, very similar to the fuses at the top, but the 12 volt version. And on the panel here to the left at the top, you've got a description of what each of these trip switches is for here. And then down the bottom, you've got a marker to let you know what each of the 12 volt fuses is for, and you'll notice they're all individually numbered down the side here. So like I said, electric water heating is up in that cupboard, as you've seen. So that will warm up the water system on electric. However, you can also warm up the water system on gas. Now it's a little bit hard to show you this controller, but we're going to show you the very best we can. Down the side, which you're going to have to imagine, there is a flame symbol just down here. To get the gas system to ignite, you've got this little tab here, and you need to point that tab towards the flame symbol at the bottom. What you can't see at the moment is there's actually a green light just appeared around the side here. I can't get the camera in well enough to show you, I do apologise. Essentially, that green light is your pilot light for the gas systems on board the caravan. If that is a solid green light without a red light on that will come on next to it if it fails to ignite, then the gas system has ignited and it is running as it should. For the water heating, you can actually just see now that there's a red glow in here because the gas is currently turned off. So like I said, you'd have the, once the green light is on and that is a solid light on its own, then that gas system has ignited. On gas, you can actually control the water temperature between 30, as you can see here, and 70 degrees on this side. Essentially, whichever number you put above the green light is the temperature the water heater will warm up to. We do advise when you are showering on board the caravan to use the gas as a boost for the shower system on board the van. Turn the gas supply back off, you spin the dial round to the off position. So that is your hot water on gas and electric. Below that just here, you have the option to run your heating. Now the power switch that you see down here is actually for the electric water heating. Now down the side again, you're going to have to imagine there is a 500, 1000 and 2000 watt option. What this relates to is the amount of power that is coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. To control this, you'll spin the dial round to the 500 with a little tab on the side here again and point it at the relevant power source. You won't know what power source you can run it to till you ask the site office when you arrive on your holiday. You'll actually then be able to control the temperature of the heater on this dial in the centre between 1 and 9, and the higher you go with that setting, the hotter the heater will be. Down below that, you actually have your actual heater itself. Now you can run the heating on gas as well, the same as you can run the fridge on gas, the hot water on gas, etc. To ignite the gas system on the heater, you'll spin this dial round between the 10 and 9, hold down the gas valve, and in this window down the front of the heater, you'll actually get a pilot light. Once that pilot light is lit, you'll continue to hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve and control the heat of the heater on the dial on top. If you want to turn off the gas supply, you spin it back round to past the 0, and that will isolate the gas supply. On the right hand side here, you have a dial very similar to what you have in your car for your heating in the car. So like your blown air heating that comes through the vents on the car. The dot in the centre here is going to indicate the heat is going to come out the front of the heater with no fans turned on. However, if you put it onto the wave symbol here, that is continuous blown air, and the heat will come out the vents around the caravan, the little black vents around the van, and that will be a continuous blown air. You can control that fan speed with this dial on top. If you want to have it on thermostated blown air, so essentially it cuts in and out with the thermostat on board the caravan, you can put it onto the A on the right hand side, and the fans will cut in and out as they are needed when the heat needs to be risen again inside of the caravan. So that is your heating system. Like I said, fan speed on top, continuous blown air, dot is for the heat coming out the front, and the A is thermostated blown air. Let me go on to the fridge now. The fridge, very simple, you press the power button just here and the fridge will wake up. You can then select the power source with the button on the left hand side. So we've got mains power here, and we're going to control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side. 12 volt mode is for when you're towing down the road. Now at the moment it's flashing at me and bringing up a warning error to let me know there is no power connected to the car. Essentially, once you're connected to the car, you can come inside the caravan, have your main control panel turned off by the door, hit the power button and select the 12 volt mode. Essentially, it will make the fridge work as a cool box as you are travelling down the road. Press the button again and you go to your gas option. Now you need to have the gas turned on for this. It will self-ignite on gas, and if it failed to ignite, it would flash the blue warning light just here and the number 9 and the spanner symbol on the right hand side here. To turn the fridge off, you press and hold the power button and the fridge will turn back off. Microwave, oven and grill and hob all work very much like your household appliances. You do have a 240 electric ring at the back here which will only work on 240 mains. The last thing we're going to go through on this caravan is the toilet system in the bathroom. You have an electric flush that works from the water tank on board the caravan. You also then have a red indicator light here to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience, however you probably wouldn't need to do that in this particular caravan. But also what you have below the toilet is a grey waste handle just here to allow the toilet waste into the cassette underneath the caravan. When this toilet waste handle is open, the waste will go into the cassette, and when you finish using the loo, we do advise you shut it back off. If that cassette door is open, this one here, it will actually again stop you removing the cassette from underneath the van because it will lock the toilet cassette in place, the same as if the toilet is turned. So this is a Swift Challenger 565. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.